Royce White, a former NBA player and Republican candidate for the U.S. Senate in Minnesota, is facing intense criticism after a controversial 2022 social media post resurfaced, in which he asserted that the bad guys won World War II. White, who is challenging Democratic incumbent Senator Amy Klobuchar in the upcoming election, made the statement in a post on X, formerly Twitter, that has since drawn widespread backlash, particularly from political opponents and veterans groups. The original post, which was resurfaced by Heartland Signal, reads, "It dawned on me today, the bad guys won in World War II. There were no good guys in that war. The controlling interests had a jump ball. If you look closely, you see the link between liberalism and communism in the Allied forces." White's remarks suggested that both the Axis powers, led by Nazi Germany, and the Allied forces, which included the United States, the United Kingdom, and the Soviet Union, were equally culpable in the war's outcome, a view that many find deeply offensive and historically inaccurate. The insinuation that the Allied forces, which defeated the genocidal Nazi regime, were no better than their fascist enemies sparked outrage. White attempted to clarify his statement after it was widely criticized, particularly as his campaign continues to trail in the polls against Klobuchar. A recent poll from the Minnesota Star-Tribune, NPR News, CARE shows Klobuchar holding a significant 11-point lead over White. In response to the backlash, White doubled down on his stance, saying on X, "It's embarrassing to see how many of you liberals have become pro-war and pro-crony capitalism." When asked for further clarification by USA Today, White maintained his controversial viewpoint, stating, "I said what I said the bad guys won in World War II, and they did win." He further explained that his comment was not meant to suggest that the Allied victory over the Axis powers was a negative outcome but rather to highlight his belief that a small group of global elites, whom he refers to as globalists, and proponents of the post-World War II democratic order, were the true beneficiaries of the war. White continued, "Neither the Allied forces nor the Axis powers won or lost the war. There was a group of people who benefited from all the institutions that sprang up after World War II." He criticized what he sees as the economic and political structures that emerged following the war, which he believes favored a globalist agenda, leading to what he calls crony capitalism. White's comments have drawn widespread condemnation, with many pointing out the offensive nature of his statements given the historical significance of World War II, where over 6 million Jewish people were murdered in the Holocaust, along with millions of other innocent civilians and soldiers. The Allied forces, widely regarded as liberators, played a crucial role in defeating fascism and ending the Nazi regime's genocidal policies. White's attempt to link the Allies to liberalism, communism, and globalist agendas has been interpreted by many as an effort to distort historical facts for political gain. This is not the first time Royce White has found himself embroiled in controversy. His political career has been marred by several incidents, including allegations that he used campaign funds at a strip club. White has also openly admitted to holding transphobic views and has stated that his political stance is farther to the right than former President Donald Trump, positioning himself as a hardline conservative candidate. Despite his attempts to gain traction with right-leaning voters, his campaign has struggled to gain significant support, and he remains far behind Klobuchar in the polls. White, who was born and raised in Minnesota, is making another attempt to enter politics after an unsuccessful bid for the U.S. House of Representatives in 2022. Where he failed to advance past the Republican primary for Minnesota's District 5 seat. A former basketball player, White was a first-round pick in the 2012 NBA draft, selected 16th overall by the Houston Rockets after a standout college career at Iowa State University. However, his professional basketball career was short-lived, with White playing just 3 games in the NBA for the Sacramento Kings before continuing his career in other leagues, including Ice Cube's Big 3 League. Despite his controversies, White has maintained a presence in Minnesota's political scene, aligning himself with far-right ideologies and publicly supporting figures such as Donald Trump. He has focused his campaign on opposing what he calls the globalist agenda, and has taken stances against liberal policies, attempting to position himself as a populist candidate. However, the recent controversy surrounding his World War II comments threatens to further alienate voters. Many political analysts believe White's comments could be a significant setback for his campaign, particularly given the historical sensitivity surrounding the events of World War II and the deep respect many Minnesotans have for veterans.